There we go. Let me just get up the chat, make sure everything's all good. There we go. Hello, welcome to everyone who's here right now. Perfect. There we go. I'm just getting up the chat here. Where is the chat? There we go. Perfect. How is everyone? How is everyone doing? Let me just move everything over. There we go. That's all good. Perfect. How is everyone doing? Hope everyone's doing well. Today we're going to be going over day 24 of the boot camp. So let me know if everything looks good, sounds good, everything like that, and we're going to get into it. I understand, not as many people are going to be on tonight as it is Christmas Eve, but I did say at the start of the month I'm going to go live every single day with a section of the boot camp, and I'm not, I'm not getting away from that. So I'm going to do it, and yeah, all good, mate. Has JB? It's been good, DB. Again, busy, but getting ready because tomorrow's going to be, a more chilled out day. And so, a lot of things to sort and everything, but it's been good. Okay, really nice, Sam. Really, really, really nice. Definitely be careful today. There's a lot of bank holidays today, tomorrow, and Boxing Day, so definitely be careful. We've seen that in price so far today. It hasn't really done too much. We've mainly just been ranging sideways. We did just have a perfect bounce from the level which I marked up. Wait, I haven't even... How do I... Okay, I don't know how to do that, never mind. That's fine. But yeah, really nice bounce from that. I do need to put a screenshot in here. 1 second. For members of the private group, I did put in a level this morning, the only level, not this morning, but earlier on today. The only level that I put in today, which was the exact bottom on gold just now. So that was really, really good. I'm just going to put it here. Boom. There we go. Put that in. There we go. Sorted. Just move this up. Change this. Boom. Move this down. Risk-free trade. Nice, Sam. Really, really nice. What's good, people? How are we? Hello, Brandon. Hope you're having a great Christmas. Steve. Hello, Ben. Hope everyone's having a great Christmas as well. Great Christmas Eve today. We're going through today on this section of the boot camp. We're going to be going through lesson 24, which is scaling and consistency. So I do think the last boot camp was a really, really important one. If you missed that, I do recommend going back through that one. The past few have actually been really, really good, but this one's also an important one. There's a few mindset tricks when scaling capital. Now, I know a lot of members are scaling capital now through the private funding service that we have inside the private group. So you need to be aware of a few psychological pitfalls when you are scaling up capital as well, and how to do it sort of effectively, if that makes sense. I'm off to a nice Sam. Enjoy the pub. Got to go looking for a new car though because I've got a cylinder line crack and there won't be any point at all getting it fixed because I was quoted. Jeez, you quoted 10k to get something fixed. Yeah, definitely. What car are you thinking, Brandon? Yeah, this one should be good. So let's get started. Let's get into it. So lesson 24. If you're joining us just now, we've been doing a bootcamp live every single day throughout December. If you've got any questions and you're watching live, then you can just ask me in the chat. And if you've got any questions and you're watching this after the fact, then just drop me a comment on the video. Okay, so scaling isn't just trading bigger; it's trading differently under pressure. Small size is like driving a bicycle. Big size is like steering a truck. With tiny positions, you get perfect fills, like buying a coffee with the exact change. With big positions, slippage appears like ordering a taxi in a storm. Slippage is the hidden tax that grows as your account size grows. Correlation is when the trade move like a school of fish. Oh, no, that's the wrong. It's from yesterday's one. What worked at small size can quietly stop working at big size. So when you start scaling up, to serious size, you're going to run into a few different issues. Now, liquidity is mainly depending on the pair that you trade, but that'll be an issue with massive size, but it's still something to factor in, and it gives us an insight into what big institutions' problems are. So part of this live isn't necessarily problems that you're going to run into, but it's problems that big institutions are running into, which we can utilize to gain a better understanding of how the markets work. So one of the biggest problems that institutions run into is actually getting their orders filled, and having enough liquidity to fill their orders. So this is what that means. If they just if institutions didn't have a problem getting filled, they could enter all their trades at once, they could exit all at once, it would be very easy. But they're not doing that. They have to enter slowly, they have to exit slowly, they have to create market environments and create basically a good market condition for them to execute all of their trades. They have to draw in a lot of traders, with big impulse moves to the upside or big impulse moves to the downside to capture all of that liquidity and actually fill their positions. So this is something really, really important to just know about what's going on in your trading. So let me know if you've got any questions regarding that, and then we'll continue forward. Yeah, that's a big repair. Hello, Yusuf. Hello, Bella. Hello. I'm just going to get the same car, just with less miles on it. I put 20k miles on it this year, and I love my car. 20k. Jesus, Brandon. Are you a part-time Uber driver, Brandon? 20k miles in a year. So that's a lot. Well, I hope you get that sorted, Brandon, and keep us updated with that. I'm sure it'll be good. And it'll be nice to get a new car, well, a newer version of the car you already have going into 2026. So that's it's worked out for the best. It seems like that's all good though. So your strategy didn't break. Costs and liquidity went up. Psychology scales faster than position size. A £100 loss feels like a scratch. A 5,000 loss feels like a punch. And no matter what, no matter how big your account gets, okay, when you start making thousands and thousands, you're obviously going to be losing thousands on each losing trade, and that's going to hurt. No matter how much money you're making, losing thousands on trade is always going to hurt, and it's never not going to hurt. So understanding that psychology gets, like, the pressure on your psychology always grows with the amount that your account grows. And I know a lot of people actually, and it's similar with me. You grow a lot, and then you sort of get to a semi-plateau where if you risk more, it starts to really mess up your psychology. Whereas, let's say they're happy to risk £1,000 on each trade. If they risk more than that, their emotions come into play. It might be £1,000 for one person, it might be £10,000 for another person, it might be £200,000 for another person. But I see everyone sort of get to that level where they're like, okay, if I risk more than this, no matter what, my emotions get into it. Even if they can afford the loss, their emotions come into play. So understanding that plateau will eventually come, and not trying to push past it, it will be, you can slowly increase past it, but understanding that you're not going to continue to just make that same progression. You're not going to go from risking £100, £200 to £300 to £1,000 to £5,000 to £10,000. You might get to £1,000 really quickly, but then you might have to slowly increase after that. Something which I've spoke about in detail before is numbing your psychology to risk. And so when you quickly increase your account, this is spoken about in the book, The Best Loser Wins as well. But when you increase risk, you need to allow your mind to become psychologically numb to that risk. If you just go from risking £50 to risking £150 straight away, your psychology isn't ready for that £150 loss. Like, it hasn't grown accustomed to it. You need to let it get numb to that loss before increasing it further. Let me know if that makes sense, and then we'll go forward from there. Me and the boys love a good drive. 155 Victorial capped speed though. That's. I mean, you shouldn't. 155 is fine, but yeah, that's good. I do like. I am soft spot for a good drive though. I do like That's definitely when I need to like, okay, I've had like a crazy day or something. Going out for a drive is definitely top thing to do. Hello, Chris. Hello, Philly. Hello. But yeah, let's continue. So same 1% risk, totally different emotional reaction. If you're risking 1% on £1,000 account, and if you're risking 1% on £1,000,000 account, it's going to be very different. Your brain thinks in money, not percentages. This is something which is important as well. When in terms of trading, a lot of people talk about exponential growth. So you'll see people advertising trading, and it's such a misleading thing in my opinion, saying like, okay, if we look at exponentials, if you make 1% a day, you're going to be a millionaire in like 100 days. And on paper, it sounds really good, and yes, it's true. But making 1% a day is very hard consistently. 2, your brain doesn't work in exponential progression. It doesn't. Humans can't understand that very well. It just doesn't work. Humans think linearly. So humans think like this, whereas exponentials like this. And so a lot of people will market things in trading using exponentials because it looks really, really good. 1% a day, 100 days, you're a millionaire. It looks really good, but that's just not how trading works. That's not what happens in the real world. There's a lot of things in trading which look really good on paper. They sound really good and they do make sense, but that's just not the real world. Like when in the actual real world, when you're actually trading, it doesn't work like that, unfortunately. It is like that in London, DB. It's annoying as hell. Not down the jewels, DV. There's a lot of very long roads with no cameras where I am. It's like a huge racetrack. That sounds good, Brandon. That sounds really, really good. I would like to go on a drive. Let me know if you've done this or if you plan to do this in the future. But like a drive sort of from UK, like going through the Eurotunnel and going around Europe. Not something that I can do for a long time yet. Not enough. Like, you have to set aside a lot of time. You basically have to be retired at that point. But it would be something to do in however many years' time. Just get like a crazy car or something. I don't know what car I'd choose. Let me know. If you could go from like UK all around Europe on like a big drive, on a big road trip, what car would you choose? And like it's easy to say like, this supercar, but I think it's a lot of driving. Like, do you want to really ruin your back? Because it might be a great road trip, but if you lose the ability to walk after, it's probably not worth it. But let me know what car you choose. Yeah, Wales have got some crazy roads. I drove to the south of France a couple of years ago in a motor. How was that, DB? I bet that was amazing. Coldstreams Drive, pick me up on the way. We do a rally, Coles Rally. I like that. DB, that sounds rough. You'd go in the motorhome. So if you could go around Europe, you'd pick the motorhome to go in. I don't know. I feel like we're going to have a lot of different opinions on that. But let's continue. So many traders fail to scale because emotions grow faster than discipline can. Market capacity matters. Not every strategy can handle big money. And if you're, scalping a ton, chances are you're going to get messed up with slippage, etc. Scalping is like sprinting through a crowded room. It doesn't scale well, 100%. Position trading is like hiking, slower but built for long distances. The bigger the trading account, the fewer mistakes the market forgives. The hardest part of scaling is not rushing it. And you don't need to rush it. You can scale very, very quickly. Again, members like Jay who have scaled from making a few £100s to now tens of thousands of pounds a month, nearly hundreds of thousands of pounds a month in, I think like 8-9 months, which, 8-9 months sounds like, it doesn't sound like a long time to me, but it sounds like a long time, but it's not at all. Like 8-9 months goes so fast. And so just take it slow. If you try and make money slowly, you'll make money quickly. If you try and make money quickly, you won't make any money at all. That's sort of a good sort of saying. Can stop anywhere. The motorhome I definitely see as being good, being able to stop anywhere, and you got a house on wheels in it. So sounds good, but you go down those amazing roads. What is it? The Transistria Road. I think it's a really, really famous one. Sounds amazing. I wouldn't really want to be going round those tight bends and all of that in a motorhome. I wouldn't really get that sort of rallying feeling. Anything at 1.9 TDI. I'm surprised no one said like something crazy. I mean, a motorhome would be nice, but I don't know. I don't know. I think like a little MX-5 would be cool. Like, you know, you got the convertible, manual. Like that'd be fun. Motorhome with a motorbike on the back. I mean, yeah, if you ride motorbikes, that would be good. But hell no, am I getting on a motorbike? Maybe a quad bike or something. You got to be crazy to get on a motorbike. But that would be amazing. I think that would be cool. And then that would be really cool actually. And then you just stop off and just get the motorbikes off. I did see a motorhome. I remember this was like 10 years ago on Top Gear, and it was a big motorhome, and you could put a supercar like in it. So imagine you're in a big motorhome, and then you find a really nice road, and you just deploy Ferrari, and then it just drops out. Like that would be awesome. That would be really cool. Turning 5k into 25k tempts traders to floor the accelerator. No. Speed kills accounts faster than bad strategies. Very, very, very rarely do bad strategies kill accounts, if ever. Like normally, I'd say 1% of accounts going downhill is down to strategy. 99% of the time, it's poor risk management, poor trade management, poor emotional control. Like that's the vast majority. But yeah, in 99% of cases, people blame bad strategy because of their inability to grow the account. So 99% of the time, people blame their strategy, but 99% of the time, it's not strategy that's causing them to struggle. And that is just the truest thing. Consistency means following rules, not winning every trade. You're going to lose in trading. We've been over this a lot. In trading, you will lose. It's how it is. Everyone loses in trading. You have to lose to win. A consistent trader executes the plan, even after losses. An inconsistent trader edits the plan mid-trade. No. Boredom breaks rules faster than losses, and this is something I see a lot as well. You get bored, you want to enter a trade. Instead of doing that, just until your rules are hit, just like stay on a demo account or something. Like just stay off your main account. It's very, very, very important. Track execution, not just profits. Ask after every trade, did I follow my rules? And this is to be consistent, and this is to scale your account. All of these points are necessary for consistency and scaling your account. 90% plus rule following matters more than finding better entries. 100%. Accounts grow because of discipline, not genius. Checklists turn emotions into mechanics. And I've spoken about checklists on last night's bootcamp as well. Having a checklist of 3 to 5 points where you absolutely stick to. They're not your rules to enter the trade. They're just a checklist, and you won't enter a trade without each point being ticked. I think everyone should have a checklist in trading. And it can be as simple as, okay, have I checked news? Have I looked at the higher time frames? Have I identified the trend? Just basic checklist to filter out 90% of those crap trades. If then rules remove decisions under pressure. If this, do this. If this, do this. Those are what I use all of the time. Small accounts are training wheels for big accounts. 6 months of consistency beats one lucky quarter. 100%. Let me know if that makes sense up to now. Let me know if you've got any questions, and I'll happily run over them. Drive through Switzerland, end up on a road 3,000 meters up a mountain with a sheer drop and no barrier. That was fun. That doesn't sound like fun at all, DB. It sounds like you had an amazing time though, DB. That sounds really, really amazing. That sounds really, really, really good. Makes sense. Okay, perfect, Chris. Again, in this bootcamp section, we're going over consistency and we're going over scaling accounts. A lot of the points we've already spoken about, but we're re-drilling them in. A lot of times, trading is made up of maybe like 10 or so sort of very, very concrete pillars, okay? And you'll notice a lot of the time we're re-going over them. So if you're at the point where you're like, okay, Max has mentioned this before, that is really, really good. That highlights the importance of it. Scale size only after proving consistency. Doubling the account earns a size increase. Same percentage risk, bigger nominal numbers. Slow growth builds confidence. Fast growth builds fear. Partial scaling is emotional shock absorption. This is basically scaling the account slowly so you don't just shock your system with risk. If you just increase your risk very quickly, you go from risking £50 on a trade to risking £150, your psychology isn't ready to see £150 risk. And yeah, a lot of people say, and I say it as well, is, okay, if you're making consistently £10, then you can make consistently £10,000. Yes, you can, but it still takes time to scale that slowly, not in terms of a capital perspective. It's very easy to scale capital, and that's what a lot of people talk about. It's all about scaling capital and this and that and the other. But something that a lot of people don't talk about is scaling your psychology. That's something where there's no prop firm, there's no funded solution for scaling your psychology. You can't take a psychological test, and if you pass it, it gives you extra psychological balance. It doesn't work like that. You have to just do it the old-fashioned way and scale it up slowly. And if you go too fast, your psychology scales like this. If you go too fast, you get burnt. If you go too slow, you don't make good enough progress, really. Okay, you've got to stay within this line where you're making good progress, your account's slowly going up, and your emotional control is going up with it, but you're not going too fast. Okay, I think that's a really, really good line there. That, you know, you can scale capital really easy. There's, you know, funded solutions. Most of them are absolutely terrible, and I'd stick with the private funding service inside the group. But there's still ways to scale capital, and you can just increase risk on the trade. Like, increasing capital really isn't hard, and increasing risk. But increasing your psychological ability to handle that risk, now there's no funded solution for that. Oh, 1 second. I do apologise, guys. Boom. There we go. Perfect. Busy day today. But yeah, I think that's a good one. I think I'm going to bring that up a lot. I quite like that one. £75 risk before £100 keeps your nerves intact. If size feels heavy, stay there longer. Scaling timelines are personal, not competitive. And that's something that's really important as well. It's not, I say it again and again and again, but it is not you versus me. It's not you versus Chris. It's not you versus Andy. It's not you versus DB. It's you versus yourself in these markets. 1,100%, okay? Looking online, most of those people are complete frauds, and they don't know what they're talking about at all. And I hope that going through this course, you've outlined most of the stuff in the trading space is just complete and utter crap. So I hope that you've come to that conclusion. And B, it's not you versus them. You don't know. A lot of these people, like, there's one prominent guy in the space, I'm not going to say his name, but his family are extremely wealthy, like extremely, extremely, extremely wealthy, and they basically funded everything, and it's like, okay, you two are not in the same thing at all, and there's no problem with that. It's not you versus them. Whatever you see online, it's not you versus me. We're not in competition. It's you versus yourself. Super important. Like everything in life, really. Big losses feel personal, even when they aren't. £1,000 loss feels like groceries, holidays, real life. Your brain doesn't care about math. It cares about meaning. If the amount of money you lose on a trade means something to you, that's not a good sign, okay? If you don't go on holiday, or something you really want to go on holiday, and that holiday costs you £1,000, and you lose £1,000 on a trade, your brain thinks, okay, that could have gone that, it's got meaning behind it. If you can go on holiday anyway, or you can buy whatever anyway for £1,000, let's say, then that £1,000 doesn't mean as much to you. It's not like that amount of money isn't going to impact your life at all, really, which is very important. Repetition desensitizes fear. I like that quote a lot. Okay, perfect. Gradual exposure makes bigger numbers feel normal. Jumping sizes skips emotional adaptation. It's like you want to run a marathon, okay? If you run a marathon right now, okay, chances are you're going to fall over and it's going to be very, very difficult. It's going to be awful. Whereas if you run, a few miles, then you run a few more miles, then you run a few more miles. One day you run 2 miles, the next week you run 6 miles, the next week you run 8 miles, the next week you run 15 miles. You gradually increase. there's nowhere in life really where you just skip to the top. It doesn't happen. There's no shortcuts, okay? Everything you've got to gradually increase. Trading is no same. Trading isn't some money glitch golden ticket thing. It really isn't. I think it's the best business to get involved in, the best business to actually make good money from anywhere in the world. You know, get out of a normal job and live how you want to live. I do 100% believe that. But I still know that it is very much like any other business out there. You're going to have losses. It's tough and you have to, you know, scale slowly. No business you just instantly go to the top. It doesn't happen. Think in R, not pounds. I've spoken about this in depth a lot. Percentages keep emotions quiet. Metrics reveal problems before damage does. It's like seeing your stats from your journal is like seeing like warning lights on your car. It shows up before the car blows up. Hopefully Brandon saw a few warning lights on his car. More money isn't always more freedom. Income stability beats maximum growth. And this is something as well. Let me just... Perfect. This is something which is really, really important as well, is a lot of times if you're risking more money, and this happened to me, so a lot of things that we've gone over in this boot camp are like I'm speaking from sort of personal experience in them. And there was points in my trading journey when I was making like really, really, really good money, but it's all I thought about. And look, I think about trading like near enough every second of every day. But that was... Now I think about it, thinking about it in terms of the community and thinking about it in terms of others and this, that, and the other. But there was a point where I was just thinking about my own trades, like all of the time. And yes, I was making more money, but it was not healthy. It was not sustainable at all. Okay, you can make a lot of money, but not have the freedom that you're in trading to get to in the first place. Okay, if you're making tons and tons and tons of money, but you can't enjoy that money because you're stressed, you're this, you're that, you're not taking care of your health, everything like that, you know, you're not very free, okay? So yes, a lot of you could increase your risk and you could make more money, but chances are you'll be stressed about it. You won't sleep as much. When you see family over Christmas, you might be a bit more irritable. That isn't the freedom that you want to get out of trading. So that's very important. Income stability beats maximum growth. This is something I got. I run another business with two other individuals outside of trading as well, and I wanted to scale it very, very quickly. I was new to that sort of industry, and I wanted to scale it really quickly. I was like, yeah, let's do it. And then they were like to me, okay, no, we want to see stability, then scale. Like they really, and these are people I really respect. And I was like, but the numbers are so clean. Like we're really good, mentality's good, like everything, we're all good. Like let's just scale. And they were like, no. We want to see stability, okay? We want things to be stable, we want things to be healthy, and then we'll grow. That is the way to do it. And so that really enforced stability. Big size demands big emotional tolerance, 100%. If size costs you sleep, it costs too much. Let me know if you've got any questions on this so far, and these are such important points, okay? These are like incredibly important points, and they will come up on your trading journey. So if you remember them, like if it comes to it, okay, I'm staying up late, I'm trying to catch this position. I remember Max says, if size costs sleep, it costs too much. Okay, I should probably sack this off. Like whatever the trade, I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna get a good night's sleep, and I'm gonna feel refreshed tomorrow. That's sustainable, that's healthy, that's good for you, it's good for the people around you, and over the long term, it's good for your trading as well. Okay, sounds good. Liquidity eventually limits everything, the big top level. Large capital needs different strategies. That's how we can see, you know, a lot of strategies that are spoken about in the retail space. Big institutions aren't using these strategies, like it doesn't happen. And you know what? It's fine. I think especially maybe like 2 years ago, there was a big push. Okay, you need to follow exactly what the institutions are doing. You don't follow exactly what they're doing. They're playing a different game to us, okay? We're playing a game like inside their game. If the game is to get from one end of the maze to the other, and we're a little mouse, institutions are a big elephant or something, we're playing a different game. We've both got the same goal to get to the other side. They can just smash through the maze. but we can take little shortcuts around like trees and stuff, okay? We can scurry through the gaps that they can't get through. So it's very important. We're both playing the same game, but they're playing with slightly different rules. So trying to be a mouse and copy a dinosaur, like what are you trying to do? You're not, as a mouse, you're not going to break through that wall. It doesn't happen. So I feel like when people say that, it's very misleading as well. We don't want to try and be an institution. We don't want to try and be anything other than ourselves, with proper risk management, proper discipline, and proper emotion and control. If you try and be something you're not in trading, try and use a system which doesn't make sense to you, try and use anything that isn't like you, then it's not going to go. You need to be an expert on how you trade, an expert on your own system. Institutions are an expert on their system, okay? Let them be. Be an expert on your own system, but still find out what they're doing and take little tidbits. If you see the dinosaur, like, take a little shortcut that you could take it as well. We can still take little bits from each other. Hope that analogy makes sense. Bit of a weird one. T-Rex and a mouse. Didn't think I'd ever go down that route. The goal isn't the biggest account. The goal is sustainable trading business. Success is personal, not comparative. Consistency got you here. Consistency keeps you here. So question number 1, we're going to skip through these quickly. Just say the answer out loud if you can. Why do strategies struggle as size increases? Let me know. Why do strategies struggle as size increases? Slippage and liquidity. Why does scaling fail for many traders? I heard because institutions have huge lots, they usually close after 30 pips of trade. DB, that's wrong. I don't know where that was, but that's just so not right. Yeah, they're not doing that. That's like they're scalping. Institutions are not scalping. No, and there's a bunch of different institutions, like a lot of them can do like high frequency trading, which people will misrepresent as retail bots. That isn't retail bots, it's completely different. They're creating the market that we trade in basically, or basically all of their algorithms come together and they get information very, very quickly, use very, very efficient algorithms to process the information and decide on a direction for the market, take that trade, and then capitalize on that profit very quickly. But just saying like they're going to take profit after 30 pips, like just think about it. Like I think a good thing to do is if someone says something like that in trading, just taking a step back and just be like, okay, if I was an institution, I've got billions and billions and billions of capital under management, and I was sat in a meeting explaining to investors how I manage the capital, and I said to them, yeah, we take profit after 30 pips. They would laugh in that meeting. Like it's not happening. So, you know, understand these institutions, it's a very, very professional environment. If they were in a meeting, they said they took profit after 30 pips. It's yeah. Oh yeah, completely full of it, DB. Completely full of it. Yeah, I can't even put words on that statement. Okay. Well, also sorry, I missed the answer on that one. Why does scaling fail for many traders? Because their psychology can't scale with them. Yeah, psychology. Why does thinking in R help? So R is risk. Whatever you risk is R. So if you risk £10 in each trade, your R is £10. This keeps things objective and removes a lot of emotionality that comes with money. It's the same reason, okay, this is the exact same reason that, okay, this is the last question, I believe. This is the exact same reason casinos give you chips, okay? And online casinos give you chips. Why do they give you chips and not allow you to bet with real money? That's because real money carries emotion with it. Whereas if you pay money, get a lot of chips, you haven't got any emotionality to that bit of plastic. You haven't got emotionality to those coins on this website. So you're just willy-nilly throwing them on everything. That's why they do that. And we can learn from them. They're doing it in terms of chips, because chips you don't have an emotional connection with chips, okay? We don't have an emotional connection with R. So we're basically doing what they do to basically mess up people who go in a casino. We're flipping it on their head and using that same psychological lesson and we're flipping on its head and using in our own trading to remove psychology from risk to profit over time. So what does thinking in R help with? There was a few questions. I put them on and the answer was like the skip forward a bit. Okay, so let's look. Emotional control. R helps with emotional control. Okay, there's just a few questions there, just to re-go over it, but I think the most important points are the ones throughout the live and just remembering those. And I hope, guys, you've enjoyed this this section of the bootcamp. I think it's been a... Excuse me, I think it's been a good one. Definitely some very important points. I mean, on each boot camp, there's at least 3 to 5 super important points. And I just really hope that, you know, there's a few times in the boot camp where you're like, you know what, that makes sense. That applies to me. I can pull that from there. Just a few things, because really all it takes is a few things, like a little thing from there, a little thing from there, and a little thing from there. Put it together, profitability, okay? And that's all it takes. So going through it all, you just because something will click. There'll be that clicking point, okay? And you'll be like, okay, that don't make sense. Don't know what the hell Max is on about there. Okay, skip through that a bit. I don't really know what was going on. That, you know what? I've been struggling with this. That just makes sense to me. Okay, I've got that. I'm gonna remember. Okay, I've got that. That's what I want to create. I want to create that spark, that moment where you're like, you know what? That bloody makes sense to me. That does. Boom. Okay, so I really hope everyone enjoyed this section of the bootcamp, and I hope you all have an amazing Christmas Eve as well. I'm going to leave it there. Take care, everyone. Have an absolutely amazing Christmas, and I'll see you all tomorrow on the Christmas Live at 8 p.m. See you in a bit, Chris. Afternoon in New York, Jay. Hope you're enjoying it. I was just finishing the live up, so take care, Chris. See you in a bit, Jay. Hope you're enjoying New York. Definitely well deserved. See you in a bit, DB. See you in a bit, Andy. Who else have we got on here? Seen a bit, Bella, Hammer, Brandon, other Andy. Take care, guys. Have a great Christmas Eve.